Welcome back. Colleen O'Hara, Women's Resource Center founder, is here, and we're helping her to celebrate 40 years of saving lives at this amazing community shelter. Welcome.
Thank you.
I am so excited to have you here because not only did you found the Women's Resource Center and the shelter, you were an Oceanside City Council member. You were just inducted into the San Diego County Women's Hall of Fame. It's amazing, truly amazing.
Quite an honor.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's well deserved. It's
Thank
well
you.
deserved. And we really want to hear from you today about your experience founding the Women's Resource Center here in Oceanside and the shelter 40 years ago. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the center opened actually 46 years ago.
Okay.
In 1974. It was founded by myself and 4 of my friends.
Wow.
It was one of those lessons of you better be careful what you ask for because you might get it.
You might make it happen. Yes.
So we wrote a grant to the County of San Diego, and lo and behold, they funded it. So we opened the center. Our initial focus was working with rape victims.
I see.
But we soon expanded into child abuse services and working with victims of domestic violence. In 1980, we opened a crisis shelter where the women can come with their children and stay for a month while they escape from a violent situation, and that during that month they receive counseling services and some life skills and opportunity to decide what's next.
Right. Absolutely. And at one point in time, you operated an underground shelter? Tell
We
us
did.
about
That was before we had the funds to open the emergency shelter. We had women showing up at the center who didn't have any place to go. They would have their children with them and whatever clothes they could carry. So we recruited several people in the community who were willing to take these women and their children in for a few days until we could figure out, did they have family they could go stay with? Could we put them in a motel? And then what would be the next plan?
Right.
That was very generous on the part of those families in the community who volunteered to do that. But it created somewhat of a dangerous situation for them if the perpetrator tracked them down.
I see.
And it wasn't really adequate for the women and their children. So we went to the drawing board and created the emergency shelter.
Wow.
It's in Oceanside at an undisclosed location. We don't advertise it
Okay.
because these are the women who are afraid
Yeah.
and they don't want to be found.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once they finish their program in the 30-day program, they have the opportunity to move into our transitional housing project,
Okay.
which is on Apple Street, and that's where our corporate headquarters are too. And they can stay there for up to 2 years, as long as they are working or going to school, so they become self-sufficient after a 2-year period.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing work. And you just had a recent event to celebrate 40 years, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We have an annual fundraising event we call Magical Evening. We've been doing it for almost 40 years now, I think.
Yeah.
And this year, because the shelter was opened 40 years ago, we're calling it 40 for 40.
40
We're
for 40.
encouraging people to give us $40 a month to celebrate the 40 years that our shelter has been open.
Yeah, yeah. And if people want to find out more information about that particular event, they can go to wrcsd.org/40 for 40.
Yes,
Okay.
it was recorded, and
Yeah.
so it is available to the public. And of course, anyone who wants to donate is free to do that.
That's where you want them to go. Well, it's obviously a very, very worthwhile cause. If people want to find out more just about your general services or connect with you all, they can reach you at wrcsd.org.
That is right.
All right, all right. Colleen, such a pleasure to get a chance to talk with you today. And
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for all the work that you do in our community and that you have done for 40 years. So thank you for being here
Sure.
today.
My pleasure.